Welcome to the Real Estate Investing Morning Show with your hosts, Wayne and Gabby.
Good morning.
Good morning, real estate investors, and welcome to the Canadian Real Estate Investing Morning Show. If you are new to real estate investing and you are fearful and you're scared about all of it and you're worried about all the things that go bump in the night, today is the episode for you. Today we're going to be doing some live coaching. Remember yesterday when I said, wouldn't it be great if someone watched today's episode yesterday and then they sent in an email or they joined us live and they actually brought us something that is preventing them from moving forward, preventing them from buying their first rental property. And they told us exactly what that was. And then on today's show, we could answer those questions that are preventing them from moving forward or to help them overcome that or get over that hurdle. And then they could take that newfound confidence and understanding and then go buy a property. Remember when I said that? That's literally what happened. So thank you.
And I love this email. It's actually directed at me.
Yes. Thank you so much. This is exactly what we wanted. Mm-hmm. This is, and not just for us, but for you and for everyone else. This is what this show is all about. This show is about helping you guys with whatever you need. Coaching, guidance, wisdom, any just generic answers to help you get that confidence, to have that clarity, to be able to go and take action, right? To be able to go and buy that first property, to be able to go and speak to that first person that you think would be a really good partner for you, to partner with you on a deal, to do that first fix and flip, whatever it may be, to scale your business. We are here to help you with that for free every weekday morning. We do this live on YouTube every weekday morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time. If you can't make the live show and you listen to the podcast on Spotify or iTunes or just catch the video later on YouTube, you can send your questions in by email to info@reimorningshow.com. Anything you guys need, we are here. Okay? And I'm so happy that this email came in because I have a feeling, just based, I was reading it before the show. I have a feeling that we're going to be able to help this person.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that they're this close. You know what I mean? That they have all the pieces. There's just one missing piece.
Yeah. And
if we can help them with that, then, oh God, I can't wait for the email to find out that they bought their first property.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
You know what I mean?
They have to stay in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is going to be good. Definitely, as I said, the email is directed at me, so I get to speak a little bit about my experience and my thoughts, and I'm super excited about that. I'm also super excited about, it's like the live YouTube started, and it was like, like the live chat is like, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, morning. It's a great day. Have a great day. Morning, good morning, good morning.
I love it.
Yeah. More so I think than ever. So the people are here. They're ready to hear what's going on. I'm excited.
I love it, guys. Hey, if you're with us live and you got some friends that you think would enjoy this show as well, share it with them. Or even if you're listening to the recording afterwards, if you're listening to the show and you've been listening for a while and you think that, hey, this could actually really benefit this person, go and share it with them, right? We want more people to invest safely.
Yeah.
I almost said properly, and my ego says properly because I think that there is a proper way to invest and I think that it works. But at the end of the day, I want people to invest safely more so. How someone's returns turn out or pan out is I would say more, we'll leave that to everyone individually. But what I hate seeing is people get into risky deals or take unnecessary risks.
Reckless.
Yeah. And lose money, whether that be losing their money or losing somebody else's money. If at the very least we could just get everybody breaking even, as like that's the worst case scenario, I would feel very good about that. But I think that there's so much more potential as well, for higher returns. But I was going down, I was trying to make a point with that, but I almost feel like I'm going to do a whole episode just on that point alone. But I'll just end with this by saying that if you've got some friends that are saying that they want to invest in real estate and they're throwing out some crazy ideas and you're like, send them a show. Maybe they might learn a thing or two, and maybe that might help them realign in the right direction to make sure that they don't get into some messy stuff. Because, I mean, think about all the people that we've met over the years, and think about even some of our students. And I know that some of you guys are here, and please, I think that you guys can take this now. It's been long enough. But a lot of our students, when we first meet them, they're like, I want to do this. I want to do this. I heard about this. And then there's me going, okay, I hear you. Let's just maybe slow down a little bit. Let me teach you some things. And then after I teach you those things, let's see if those feelings are still the same, right? Rather than me just coming out and be like, that idea's fucking stupid, right? So
Kyla says, pick a lane.
They call me Pick a Lane Wayne.
If you say it fast enough, it sounds like an instrument or something. Pick a lane, Wayne. Yeah.
The reason why I'm saying all this is because I know that there's quite a few of you guys that have got some friends or got some family members who are kind of there. They're on the right track. They see the value in real estate, but they just don't quite see exactly the right way to do it. And you might have, maybe they're a joint venture partner. Maybe they're a joint venture partner or a potential joint venture partner. And they're like, yeah, I want to invest in real estate. I want to invest with you, but we should do this. And you're like, I don't know. We're kind of doing this over here. And then they're thinking like, why would you do that over here when you could do this over here? Look at this. You know what I mean? And context, there's missing context in a lot of that. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to tell that other person, cousin, brother, friend, mom, that's stupid or that's wrong. That's not the right way to do it, because they're not going to listen to you. But this podcast every day is a resource that hopefully maybe they listen to somebody else talk about it and they listen to what somebody else is doing and why they're doing it with more context that might help you with your case. Because I think ultimately you really want to help them, or you really want them to partner with you, but you kind of need to get them in the right frame of mind and the right frame of understanding in order for them to be able to see the opportunities that are right in front of them. I mean, look at all the light bulbs that went off this past weekend at the REI Masters Edmonton bus tour.
Yeah, that was cool to watch.
There was a lot of people that were not completely right. They weren't seeing it the way that we were seeing it. But by the end of it, there was just like a whole lot of, now I see it.
I get it. Yeah.
Right? And like even with our students in our mentorship program, when they join, I try not to come out of the gate and tell them, no, that's not the way to do it. I say, just give me 3 months, right? Everyone that joins our 12-month mentorship program, I always tell them, like, it's normally about 3 months worth of education. But it's not like, here, do module 1 through 30 for the next 3 months, and by the end of module 30, you'll have it all figured out. It's a whole lot of just talking, and then them listening, retaining, and then eventually it goes click, and it clicks and they understand it, right? But it takes time, and in order for everything to all come together and you understand, okay, I see where you're coming from. I understand how you guys invest, why you teach it this way, and why it works. So
yeah. I think that there can be a misconception that, like, we only invest in this and this is all that you should invest in too. And that like, if you, join our program, we're just going to convince you to buy a whole bunch of townhouses. Like, that is not what we are about. And, like, you can see within our program that we have people doing rent to own and fix and flips and BRRRRs and buying single family and buying multiplexes and buying like all different types of things. And we support all types of investing as long as we ensure that the fundamentals are there. And I think that's maybe where the misconception is that we're just pushing something, instead of the reality is that we are drilling in the fundamentals and the math behind it. and why those things matter. And it all comes down to, are we safely investing in real estate,
Yep.
right? And as long as those fundamentals are met, and as long as that safety net is there, do whatever you want, buy whatever you want. Like it really doesn't matter, right?
What you'll notice is that you'll notice a lot of people doing that. Once they understand it, they all kind of go in a certain direction. They all do a certain type of thing. And that's normally because that's the opportunity that's available that
Right.
fits all that criteria right now. But I'm glad that you mentioned something, and I'll wrap this up and we'll get to this email in just a little bit here. But I think this is important. You said that, people are somewhat worried that like, oh, Wayne and Gabby are just going to tell me to buy a bunch of townhouses. That's just what is really great and what working right now. But
It's just a really good opportunity right now.
and you said, but we have other students doing other things and other things and other things. And I was speaking with one of our past students this past week, and we were having a conversation about a property that they bought. And they bought it about 4 years ago. And about 4 years ago, we were giving completely different advice.
Because there's different opportunities in the market.
Exactly. We were not telling everybody to buy this. We were telling everyone to buy something different. And it's funny, you said single family houses. They had bought a single family house at that time because I was very much telling our students, the ones that understood, here are the 3 best options right now in Canada. And one of them was single family houses in a certain area. And they ended up buying a single family house in a certain area. And I remember things because I was picking up the same types of properties myself.
Yeah.
And we had a conversation, and they said they were running the numbers, and it was more or less like a hey, by the way, I just wanted to say thank you for the advice that you gave. This property's been doing fantastic. And I ran the numbers afterwards because they had their idea what they thought the numbers were. And I'm like, that doesn't sound quite right. So afterwards I went and I ran the numbers myself. And it turns out over the last 4 years, they made a 275% ROI.
Incredible.
On that property.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It was a completely different opportunity in that moment. And so we are not religious.
God, I wish it was still here. I love single family houses.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
We are not religious about strategies. We are not romantic about strategies. What we're romantic about is a certain set of criteria that we want to see, fundamentals that we follow, cash flow rules that we follow for real estate investing, and systems that we put in place. And then we take that and we find the opportunities in the market that meet that criteria, right? And the market is always changing. The market's doing what it does, and inflation and interest rates and prices and market rents, those things are all moving. We have zero control over that. We can't pull any levers or levers and control any of that. Those things are just completely variables, okay? But we have our system and our criteria, and we're just waiting for the right moment, for the right unique opportunities that present themselves as all these different variables change. And what you'll do is you'll find this here and this here suddenly make this, and then you just go and you do that for a period of time until the numbers don't work anymore, and then you go and try and find something else. So if you've watched us over the years, you've seen us doing different thing. This is not different thing because we're scatterbrained. It's because the opportunities keep changing.
Yeah.
Right? And if you understand the fundamentals and you understand the cash flow requirements and how to set up the systems, it makes it very easy for you to spot opportunities.
Yeah.
So don't just, there was someone that, I'm sorry, and I know you're listening to the show, but it was someone that was yesterday that was at our bus tour, and they had said that, hey, I was thinking about I saw the townhouse thing, and I'm thinking about doing it here. And I said, that's just not going to work. And she said, why? And I'm like, I can't explain this way. I can't even explain it this way because it takes months of just teaching you everything else. Right. And then once you understand everything, it all kind of comes together, right? So it's hard. And there was a great example of her saying, I want to do this. How do I do this? And I said, it's not going to work. And then she's like, why? See, there was a moment where I said, that's not going to work. And see how that just doesn't work. That was me saying, no,
Yeah.
that's stupid. I didn't say it was stupid, but I'm like, it's me saying no. And in that moment, she was like, well, why?
But why? Yeah.
And I don't have the ability to be able to explain all that.
It's like, okay, well, give me 3 months.
Yeah, and so it's almost always what it feels like is Wayne's like, well, now you got to join my $15,000 program to find out, and that is not the case.
It's just it takes time.
It just takes time, and there's so much. But if you keep listening to this podcast and you keep taking notes every day and applying yourself and asking questions, you can get the answers for free. Mm-hmm. You can figure it all out for free. It just takes longer. Mm-hmm. If you want the fast answer, it's going to require more time with you. And that's just something that I can't give to everyone, right? And I hope that people understand that. I hope that explains things properly. So I want you guys to truly see the value of this podcast and us doing this every morning, because this is our way of helping everyone in Canada reach that level of understanding and expertise so that they can spot opportunities like we do and like our students do, right? The way to do that is to show up every single day, share it with your friends, right? Show up ready, take notes, and ask lots of questions. Mm-hmm. That's how you're going to get the most value out of this, okay? Now, let's go back to this email, because God bless this individual who sent this email in last night. They listened to yesterday's episode. They heard it. They thought, okay, cool. This is my opportunity. I'm going to ask this question. And what I'm really hoping from this is that, the answer that we provide for you today will give you that confidence to be able to go and take action. And if it doesn't, worst case scenario, if it doesn't, and you're still not quite there, then you can always ask another question tonight and we'll answer that tomorrow, right? That's what we're here for. So one other thing I got to say before we take a break, we removed conditions on another property yesterday. Oh my God, 11th hour. I know we need to get into this.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was 11th hour. Was that condition removal deadline was 6 p.m. I think it got signed at 5:24. And I don't know when it got off to them, but I was, I'm sitting, okay, so I was almost late for my kids' soccer tryouts. Gabby's texting me because she had to drive separately. She's like, where are you? And I was like, I'm almost there. That's because I went out in the vehicle and I told the kid, okay, I just need to finish this last message and then we can go. And then I ended up sitting in the garage for 15, 20 minutes, just back and forth. And this needs to get signed and this needs to get answered. So we were negotiating right in.
That was the toughest, most hard-headed negotiation I have ever seen. I've ever been just watched the back and forth of.
Oh yeah, because you were in the group.
This seller did not want to budge, and this buyer did not want to budge, and it was
surprised you're not quoting things that I said in there.
It was basically no. Well, no. Mm-mm. Well, I'm not doing that. It was just no. I'm shocked that there was an agreement that was made, to be honest.
I'm surprised that you're not quoting things.
Can I? Do you want me to?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, it was actually really funny. Let me just quickly find it.
As this is all going on, all
laughing.
I could think about was Gabby being the fly on the wall, just not saying a thing and just ba-bing, ba-bing, seeing all these messages. It was quite entertaining.
Okay, so Calvin sends a text and says, let me know if there's anything more you would like to add. I know that there's lots of back and forth on this one, and they are presenting as being firm. Wayne says, we're firmer. What? Yeah, it was very entertaining.
We are firmer.
Calvin, Roger. It was fun.
I can't imagine I'm a very easy person to deal with.
Yeah.
There were a few other F-bombs thrown in that chat as well.
I was thank you so much, Calvin.
And I wasn't swearing at Calvin, but I was that mother.
You were fired up.
Oh my God. It was, yeah. Poor Calvin is right.
Carmen, poor Calvin.
Yeah, no, it was difficult. And
This is how hard Wayne works for our partners, though, in these negotiations. It's like we're serious about what we do.
And I was fighting over fucking pennies and peanuts.
Well, no, thousands are thousands.
Yeah, I know, but you know, when you're thinking thousands are thousands, and I don't. That's the thing, is that I'm not like, whatever, it's $1,000
And it's our
bucks,
partners'
$2,000
money
bucks.
too, right? Yeah.
I certainly don't. I don't pretend like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Even though to me it really is, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but I really just want to make sure that we get the best possible returns. And I thought it was quite justified as well, based on, you know, some of the things that needed to be repaired.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, take ownership of that. Like, you can't just leave that and say, that's nothing. Like, it's just that, oh yeah, that part's just it's not there. Yeah, okay, put that part back. You replace it. Make sure it's there when I take possession. Yeah, but that's just wear and tear. That's one of the things that the seller said.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting fucking. This seller said that's just normal wear and tear, and I said, we are buying a property. This is not I am not a tenant. This is not a tenancy. You don't get to use the term wear and tear, you know, when you're talking about a property. If you want the top dollar of market value of this property, you better give me everything in working order, not something that's missing a component.
Yeah.
Give
sure.
your balls a tug.
Just before we take a break here, I like Stuart's comment. Stuart says, Wayne was playing hardball. So was the other guy. And a deal got done anyway. Politicians should be taking notes.
I can only imagine that the conversations between those negotiators were equal to what our conversations were yesterday, with the amount of F-bombs.
Well, what I like to think about is I like to think about Calvin and the other realtor and the side conversation that they were probably having. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, you know, my guy's very passionate. And it's like, yeah, like, I'm sorry too. Like, my guy's very stubborn.
Yeah.
Are we still good? Yeah, we're good.
I will say this one last thing, though. We had this conversation the other day. We did it. We got it done. The price was totally fine. I was fine with it. I just wanted.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
I just wanted more. But I was prepared to accept it as it was. We were talking about it, Gabby and I. I don't lose very often in real estate investing, and that I sound like fucking Charlie Sheen here, but just bear with me. I don't lose very often in business and in real estate. I don't. I tend to, like, I don't have any failure stories. I don't have, like, a lot of people are like, oh, don't learn from my lessons. I don't have any. We don't.
We'll
have
just
any.
teach you how to win because we win.
That sounds very fucking Charlie Sheen. You know what I mean? But that's the truth, is that we don't have, like, I'd love to have a story about, like, you know, here's the big mistakes that I made early on, and pay $15,000 and I'll show you how to not make those mistakes. We don't have any of that. We've made smart, strong decisions throughout our whole journey. And even the properties that I want, I get them. Every property they write an offer on gets accepted. Every one. We determined there's 2 properties that I haven't gotten. And some of you guys will know this. One was 4 years ago. There was a property that I really wanted to flip. And that property ended up selling for $45,000 over asking.
Sight unseen.
Sight
out of
unseen
province.
from a Toronto investor. And we did a podcast episode on it. It was like,
What an
I
idiot.
cannot fucking believe that someone from Toronto bought this house without seeing it, sight unseen, for $45,000 over asking. And by the way, that was $45,000 over market value. Like, we were already like, we'll make these numbers work. We want to flip this house. And then, so I lost on that one, but that was like, whatever. And then that flipper ended up losing their shirt on that property. So
such a bad job.
it was a terrible, terrible flip. So they ended up losing. So I didn't lose on that one. I actually dodged a bullet because I didn't want to pay that much. The second one was just recently. Gabby really, really, really wanted this beautiful townhouse. And she said if I didn't get it, that she would divorce me. And I didn't get it.
Over how much money?
A few $1,000s.
Yeah. It was kind of
That's
like
why I'm super cautious with these negotiations these days, because like a few $1,000s is like just
It was like we have another offer and put your best offer forward. And it's like, okay, well,
I'm
this.
firmer.
So there wasn't like negotiating. It was just like, we don't know what the other person's going to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, other than those two properties, every property that I've ever wanted to buy, I've gotten. I've gotten it, and I've gotten it for the price that I wanted it. So I feel very proud of that, actually. And there's one other property that I'm still interested in that's still available. Two properties, actually, sorry, that I'm still interested in, that are still available. I needed to get through these other two offers first and get them locked up. I needed to get the conditions removed last night and get that negotiation done. So that one is moving forward. We're taking possession of that on October 1st. These other two, now I need to go through the due diligence of those. Now that I've got a little bit more time, I think I might approach these other two properties, which will mean that there's going to be at least 5 properties that we're going to be taking possession of in October, which is going to be not so, but I love it. I love the thrill of the chase. I love this game. Anyways, if that excites you and you want to do this kind of stuff too, stay tuned.
I feel like this is going to be a longer episode.
What? You think so?
I think so.
This is a quick answer, right?
I don't think so. We'll see.
Only one way to find out.
Real estate investors need to treat debt differently than homeowners, and at Kirkland & Brennan Mortgage Group, we understand that. For the last 11 years, we've helped real estate investors plan and build their portfolios. We understand how to help you avoid fees, penalties, getting yourself stuck, and making sure that the deal you're doing today doesn't stop the deal you want to do tomorrow. You can reach out to Keaton, Keaton, at kbmortgages.ca. Put plan on the subject line, and we'll help you build a plan and then realize it for your real estate goals. We also coordinate with the other professionals like your accountant, lawyer, realtor, and we will help you build your portfolio. So reach out. We'll do our best to help. Thanks, guys.
You've got showings, lease signings, suite renos, condo board meetings, credit checks, mortgage financing, and every so often the tenant clogs the sink because they shove macaroni down there. Stop. Breathe. Leave the bookkeeping to Fingo. Fingo is specialized real estate bookkeeping by real estate investors with tailored services for maximum returns. Save time. Enhance your returns. Claim the plumbing repair for that ridiculous macaroni fiasco. Book your free consultation at fingo.com.
Summer. While everyone's getting distracted, this is when the market gets quiet. Not because the opportunities disappear, but because the people do. Vacations, long weekends, these are the distractions I'm talking about. And that's exactly when serious investors make their moves. At Calvin Realty, this is one of our favorite windows. Less competition, more flexibility, and sellers who are actually open to negotiating. While everyone else is stepping away, we're stepping in. If you're looking to buy right, not just buy fast, this is your edge. Calvin Realty. Opportunity doesn't take time off.
And we're back. I like Stuart's comment here. Well, I don't like it. I think Stuart's pretty funny.
Stuart's pretty funny.
Stuart says, PSA, there are basically no real estate investors in Toronto. They're all degenerate gamblers, to be honest.
It was a good time for a drink of coffee.
Tell us how you really feel, Stuart.
That is... Hi, Toronto investors. Hey, guys. How you doing?
So I was like, I don't like it. I just think Stuart's funny.
Yeah, you have no idea how many jokes I want to crack right now. But there's just too many people that would not like it. So a very good observation.
I think there's a lot of decent investors in Toronto that probably agree with that statement, though, because they know there's probably a small pocket of really great investors, and then there's everything else.
Decent and degenerate.
Yeah, we have 2 options here.
Degen.
Oh man. Kyla is also in the comments, and Kyla says, "That's awesome. Send some of that greatness this way." LOL.
Kyla, you guys are already great. You guys
Yeah.
have all the tools that you guys need.
Mm-hmm.
You're a great realtor. You guys are super smart. You're fucking hard workers.
Incredible people.
You and Fabian. You guys have all the greatness you need. Just keep doing what you're doing. Honestly.
100%.
I
Couldn't agree more.
I don't think anything needs to change. And I mentioned this past weekend, and I've mentioned it to you guys a dozen times before. You guys are on a fucking terrific trajectory.
Yeah.
You just need to just let it do its thing.
Yeah.
Let time do its thing. Continue to keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to notice everything is going to happen for you.
Yeah.
As long as you guys keep staying on that trajectory, as long as you keep staying consistent and doing what you're doing, great things happen to great people.
Mm-hmm.
And great things happen to great people who work really hard. Plain and simple. I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever, as long as you keep doing what you're doing. So go find that fix and flip property. Go, make it beautiful like you guys always do. Sell that property at the end of the winter, early spring. And then somewhere in between, I'd love to see, that rent-to-own business flourish as well. They're building a great rent-to-own business. And I honestly believe that I've coached a lot of people. And right now, the students that we have in our program right now, I am very excited about the potential for, there's two. There's two right now, two students, Kyla and Fabian, and what can I say? Tammy as well, are building phenomenal rent-to-own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a great idea. And I think that all three of them, are going into it with the right mindset, with the right intentions. And that's what rent-to-own is all about. The reason why rent-to-own fails because it's bad people trying to do a good thing.
Yes.
Right? And these are great people, amazing people that are trying to do a great thing. And I can't wait. I would love to see more emphasis on that because I think that there's so much you guys can do and long term kind of help with that trajectory. That's just the trajectory is going to go like this. So keep doing what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's read this question. It says, Hola, Gabby.
It says, hi, Gabby.
Was this Dora?
Hey, Gabby.
Hola, Gabby. I feel like I'm in a very similar situation that you were when you guys got started. From your perspective, what helped you overcome your fears about real estate investing? My husband is really pushing me to get our first rental property, and I do not feel ready. I've heard you say, that's Wayne's area of expertise on a few podcasts, and I'm curious if you guys are always on the same page. Didn't you just say this like the other day? Like you just said like the other day. It's like,
yeah.
That's Wayne's area. So
I also said it on our coaching call last night that you weren't present for.
Oh, okay. So yeah, she does.
Yeah,
she does
I
say
say
it.
that.
Yeah. So I'm curious if you guys are always on the same page. The thing holding me back is fear of making a mistake, buying the wrong property. I can't understand why I can't read this morning. The thing holding me back is fear of making a mistake, buying the wrong property, choosing the wrong tenant. He wants to do joint venture partners, and it terrifies me that we could lose someone else's money. Okay, so scared.
Scared.
Husband is the driving force.
Yep.
Is the one that's doing all the research.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the one reading all the books. I love knowing that she is listening to this podcast.
Yes, me too.
So that says that you're getting coaching and you're getting education right now.
Yeah.
Every word that comes out of our mouth is coaching and education. Just because it's free doesn't mean that it's not valuable.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other podcasts that are just, word vomit. But every word that we say here is intentional, and every word that we say that comes out of our mouth every single morning, all 1,300 episodes, all 1,500 hours, is all to help you. So I'm really happy to hear that you are continuously listening to the show and getting educated. So
yeah.
But wife and husband not on the same page. There's some fear, and then the husband wants to use joint venture partners, and that's terrifying her because now it's not a matter of like, what if I choose the wrong tenant? What if I choose the wrong property? Now it's, what if I choose the wrong tenant and the wrong property with somebody else's money?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's really, well, I don't know if this is particularly funny for other people, but how many of you are into like zodiac stuff? And I say this is...
I'm completely regretting letting you answer this question.
And this is, so last night, every once in a while, like I follow zodiac stuff, and so it comes up on my social media and whatnot. And I love reading the zodiac matches and partnerships. And it's like, so the one that always comes up for me is like Cancer, who's your like best. I'm a Cancer, that's my zodiac sign. It's like who are your best like partners in life. And Wayne is an Aquarius. So if you look at Cancer and Aquarius, it's actually not like an ideal match. And I've told this to you before, and we've laughed about it before. Because I like really crave like safety and security, and I'm emotional and all those things. And then Aquarius is like big picture, like not emotional.
Firmer.
Yeah, like like hard. And so like we're not actually a great match unless we communicate really well. And if we can communicate really well, you know, I can bring him down and he can bring me up, and we can find, you know, a happy marriage in the middle. And so I bring that up. Yeah. So I bring that up to, if like, I mean, if you're like, oh my God, that's like woo woo shit, like what the hell is she talking about right now? Then whatever, ignore me. But if you're even like an inkling into like curious about it, I like reading people's zodiac sign and like understanding who they are like is always bang on for me. I'm like, yup, that is totally you. And yup, that's totally you. Like it perfectly describes people. And so I know Wayne's going like, what the fuck is she doing right now in his head?
No,
But
no. Watch my facial expressions. I'm very.
but this person who sent this in, I would encourage them, if they haven't, and if that's not something they're into, to like look and see who are you at your like zodiac core, and who is your husband at their zodiac core, and how can you guys best be together? Like what needs to happen for you guys to like work really well together? Because I think it just helps you kind of like understand who you are. A lot of people don't really realize why they are the way they are, or like who they really are. They just be like, oh, I'm just like, I'm so emotional, or I'm so empathetic. Like, why? And they just think it's like directly driven by like how they were raised, or like, which obviously has an impact. But just understanding at the core and understanding how those two people can work together well goes a long way to making sure that if you guys are starting on this journey together, that you understand how to come together without going like this. Yeah. Because Wayne and I spent a long time going like this. Right?
Yeah.
So that was just top of mind because I was perusing them last night again and laughing to myself, reading our partnership.
So there was you said it spent a lot of time. There was early stages of our journey where it was not where it is today.
Yes.
And so the second part of this question, where she asked, you know, I'm curious if you guys are always on the same page. There's a different answer for today from when we were at your stage.
Yeah.
And so when we were at your stage, I would say probably no. I think that Gabby was, I always say this, Gabby was a good soldier.
Yeah.
She might not have agreed with the orders, but she marched. And she did what she needed to do. But she did not necessarily agree with them.
Yeah.
And, you know, and she was also fear of being insubordinate, so she wouldn't say it either. So she would just march, and she would just go, and she'd go to the front line. She'd do the work she needed to do, even though she didn't believe in it. But she just wanted to make sure that, I think, just to kind of keep the marriage together.
Yeah. I think that the biggest component in all of this, in this entire email, really, one word like really comes out strongly to me. And that word is trust. Like, in order for you guys to do this, and in order for it to work, you guys need to trust each other. And I think that a lot of trust, not blind trust, by the way, your partner saying, just trust me, isn't trust. And Wayne said that to me a lot in the beginning. You just have to trust me. You just have to trust me. And I did not trust him because he gave me no reason to trust him. He gave me no this is why it's going to work, or like any of those things. He just said, just trust me. And so, you know, the path that we took, I wouldn't recommend for people. If I were to give you advice today, I wouldn't be like, oh, do what Wayne did. Just force your wife into it. And eventually, you know, you'll break her down and she'll become great at managing your portfolio. That's not the path I recommend for people. You know, thankfully we came out the other end, you know, strong and still married and with a fantastic business. But I don't think a lot of marriages would have survived that. And so I think building that trust in the beginning is going to be really important. And the second word that's really coming out of this for me on how to build that trust is making sure the education is there for both of you. So not just, oh, my husband, now I believe that he really knows what he's doing. No, I need you to really know what he's doing as well, so that you can be on board and trust that he is making the right decisions, the safe decisions that are based on fundamentals, right? Not just like, oh, I took a course on development, and so now we're going to develop a fourplex or
And we're going to raise
$3
$3 million.
And we're going to raise $3 million, and we're going to bring in joint venture partners because he took this development course, this raising money course, and this contracts course.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I mean by getting educated and then trusting. Like, I'm talking like the core fundamentals on how to safely invest in real estate. Once you both understand those, that is going to build the trust that you guys are doing it safely. Because I 100% agree with you that there's a lot of fear, because there should be a lot of fear. Everybody should be fucking scared.
Yes.
Give me a break. We're talking about tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars that goes into one deal.
Yeah.
We're not talking about, you know, putting pennies into slot machines. Like, go wild, bring, you know, whatever, spend as much as you want in the penny slots. We're talking about tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars. You should be fucking scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to be educated. And education is where you're going to build that trust in each other. Right?
Yeah. So I'm siding with the wife on this one.
Oh,
Very much. But I also understand where the husband's coming from. And by the way, this dynamic could be completely reversed depending on, but this is the example of the email that came in. Okay. So I've seen it reversed on, in couples.
100%. It's very interesting. We almost see more women in today's landscape.
Yeah.
There's almost more women who are leading the charge and having trouble getting their husbands on board, which is just very interesting. Side note. Yeah. So it can be reversed 100%.
Honestly, I don't see any consistency or relevancy in genders in any of this equation. Nope. I just think it's individuals.
Yeah.
I think, and
their zodiac signs. Sorry, I'll let you talk. How does it feel to not be able to talk much?
No, you can interrupt me as much as you want. I love good banter on the podcast. I know that people love it. But the fucking zodiac signs. Because what I'm about to explain is the fact that people need to focus on sound logic and data and research.
And I'm bringing...
and you're talking about the fucking stars. Okay, so
what time were you born? On what hemisphere?
Oh,
give me your coordinates.
Did you know that there's going to be a lunar eclipse on Thursday night?
What was the moon? We're at the end of an eclipse.
What a great time to put an offer in.
We are at the end of an eclipse.
Isn't it tonight? Anyways, I am in agreement, and I'm siding with the wife in this example. But I understand the husband, because I understand the frustrations of wanting more. I understand the reason you're doing it. I understand everything that you think that you know right now. I also understand everything that you don't know, because I have the wisdom and the experience that you don't have. So as a coach, similar to everything else I was talking about earlier in this episode, you rewind and you'll, like I told you, like the first 25 minutes, all that stuff is relevant information to this. I honestly, as a coach, I'm always trying to figure out how do I say it in a way that will have an impact on you, that you'll hear it, and that'll make that, that realization, that switch for you, that click. How do I say it in the least amount of words? And I want to just be able to say, do this. But I know that by saying it that way, you're not going to do it. And I also know that by saying it in 4,000 words, sometimes that's over-explaining or over-coaching. So coaching and teaching people, I can give you fucking modules and some papers and say, read this and finish this test and you'll be qualified. But there's moments of realization that you need to have that create that paradigm shift for you where you're actually going to believe it. I don't want you to just listen to what we say because we said it. I want you to believe it. So how do I get you to believe it? So I say all that to say that I understand where your head is right now, because I was in that exact same spot and I was not receptive to anyone else either. And when you have a firm belief in something and you want to do it and someone says no, I know how incredibly frustrating that can be. But your wife, I hope you're listening to this, by the way, your wife is right. There are things that you do not know. And she is challenging you because she cares about not just herself, but your whole family, you. She's trying to prevent you from making uninformed decisions, uneducated decisions. So she is actually the best thing for you. She's also the worst thing for you because she can really impede and water you down. And just by saying, hang on, let's just take a second to think about it, can completely dilute all of your jet fuel to a point where you just kind of like, whatever. And then you don't do it. So she needs you and you need her and she needs you. So you need to be able to find a way, like Gabby said, to be able to work together. Because everything that she has is what you need. And everything that you have is what she needs. It is the perfect dynamic.
Yeah.
It's just really, really hard to find a way to make that work so that everybody feels comfortable and you're growing at a rate and at a pace that's safe.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have what you have, which is this podcast and these resources.
Yeah.
I thought I knew everything, and I did. There was a lot I didn't know because I didn't have access to it. So I didn't know what I didn't know.
Yeah. There was, that first part of the question of how did you overcome the fear is exactly what you're just talking about now is, back when I could tell you that like back when we started, like Wayne just said, there wasn't the resources that were available. So the way in which I became more comfortable overcoming the fear of actually owning a rental property was by learning and understanding the Residential Tenancies Act and how we would deal with different situations that might arise. And so that was by literally reading the act and having discussions between us about, okay, well, what if the tenant trashed the place? What if they stopped paying rent? What if we needed to evict them? What if, like, the process, what was the process for all those things? And by understanding those things, I warmed up to the idea of, okay, well, I know now how it would be handled. Yeah. Right. So it was through that I was able to, I wouldn't say I overcame my fear because, sometimes I'm still scared about like some stuff, it creeps up. Right. And it's always just because it's something that's unknown. It's when we hit something, it's like, oh, we've never dealt with this before, like that type of thing.
The fear
and
of
that's
the
where
unknown.
fear comes from. Fear and anxiety is just not knowing the outcome of something. That's all that it is. Like at its core, if you are anxious or fearful of something, it's because you don't know what's about to happen or how to handle the situation. That's what it is.
It's really that simple.
So if you understand how to handle the situation, or if you understand the different outcomes that might happen, you can calm those fears. And so today, if we were to start today, I feel like I could have overcome a lot of fears a lot faster based on the amount of information that's available, right? Yeah. And so that's, to answer the first part of the question, how did you overcome the fear? By understanding.
You said trust and education earlier, but it's actually the other way around. It's education and trust.
Yes. Well, I did say, though, the way that you gain trust is by being educated.
Yes. So
Yeah.
if you know everything,
Yeah.
you will trust the process.
Yeah.
And I don't
each
think
other.
it's,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it's a matter of trusting your husband. I mean, but you don't trust that he's educated enough in order to be trusted.
Yeah.
So you don't trust the process, and you don't trust him because you think he's reckless for not
Because he doesn't know enough.
knowing enough. You know that he doesn't know enough, right? Because you have questions that he doesn't have the answers to, and he just probably says something like, "Don't worry about it.
Just trust me.
Just trust me. I'll figure it out." And again, you need that in this business. You need someone who believes in themselves, and
Yes.
that superpower that he has, the confidence in himself, the ego, and to believe in himself,
It's
to know
very
that he'll find the
important.
answer. That is very important because you will never know everything.
Yeah.
But his willingness to find the answers is exactly what you need in your business, because you can't be perfect. So you need to, I would trust in that whatever we don't know, he will figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he brings to this equation. What you bring is you bring balance. You keep him in check, and the fact that you're not reckless.
Yeah.
It has to be balanced.
Yeah.
Has to be balanced. Otherwise, he's just going to be completely reckless. He's going to do a bunch of stuff and be like, don't worry about it. And then he's going to get so far underwater that he won't be able to surface.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that you guys have a terrific dynamic, because it is very similar to our dynamic. And I see that Kyla in the chat as well says the exact same dynamic. I can't read all of it as I'm talking, but very much the same. And I know exactly what you guys are talking about. And the solution is just education. Just keep listening to this podcast every day. Keep asking lots of questions, but ask more specific questions. I like that you asked this question. Now that we gave you the answer, which is education and coaching.
Get educated.
Okay. What you need to do is figure out the things that you don't know, so that, or he needs to figure it out. Either or. It would make more sense if both of you guys did, because you're gonna trust him more if you know the
If you
answers, rather
understand,
than
yeah.
trusting in just him. You just won't know what he knows, right?
And what used to happen a lot with Wayne and I is I would, because I didn't quite understand something, he would tell me something, and then I would explain that, like, I'm worried about something, and he would be like, well, no, this is how it works.
would give
This
the
is
answer.
why, this is how it's going to work. This is why you shouldn't be scared. And I'd be like, okay. And then like a week later, I'd be like asking the same question and being scared about something. And he'd be like, we just talked about this. Like, I just told you why this is okay and how this is going to work.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh yeah, I forgot, because I heard him in that moment, but I still didn't quite understand the full picture. I hadn't retained the information yet. Right. So it was like constantly in this cycle of like him trying to like teach me and teach me and teach me, but I wasn't absorbing anything. So if both of you understand, it's going to speed up the process exponentially.
Yeah. That's it. Right?
Yeah.
If you knew everything, you wouldn't be scared. I promise you.
Yeah.
I promise you. And Gabby, through experience now, has experienced almost everything, if not everything. And that's why she's not scared anymore. And the only time there's ever any anxiety is just when we're dealing with something that we've never dealt with before. Now, me, I'm like, don't worry about it. I got this. Like,
And I can trust that he's got it because he's shown me, that he has handled every situation, right?
Yeah. So let me just say this one last thing to the husband. In the last part, where he says he wants to use joint venture partners, and it terrifies me that we could lose someone else's money. I completely agree with you, and I don't think you should let him. And I know that's going to piss you off, and you're probably not going to like me very much, because I'm basically siding with your wife when you're trying to do something. But I need you to hear me that if you don't have proper education, and I know more details to this than to what's in this email. You don't have the proper education. You don't know how to do joint ventures. You've never taken any education on that. You don't know what types of deals to do, and you don't have the answers to how to resolve things if they don't go the way that they're going to go. And trust me, things are going to go sideways. There's going to be lots of things that are outside of your control. You should not be bringing in other people's money, right? I don't think anyone should do joint ventures until they have experience, until they've done it, they understand. They've done it and they understand it, everything. I don't think you should use other people's money. But my other educators, and myself included, I always say, joint ventures are inevitable. You're going to have to use joint ventures. Why not get started right now? Well, if you don't have the experience and you haven't taken the education on it, if you don't have the experience, then what you need to do is you need to get closer to people who have the experience that can fill that void for you, can fill that gap. So a great example, Leanne and Kyle, they were talking yesterday about how they're working on joint ventures. Now they have experience, but they also have us in their corner. So any questions about joint ventures, they would just ask us. Hey, what do I do in this? Like I'm filling up the contract right now. What does this section mean? I can go through it with them and explain it to them. What a shotgun clause or a buy-sell clause is, or how much, who should be responsible for what, or what's the minimum reserve fund balance, and at what point, does the reserve fund deplete the cash induction, cash call need to be necessary? Like all of these different things that you just don't understand. Like those are the answers that I can give. Hey, they're really worried about this. My joint venture partner, how can I make them feel more comfortable? I can answer those questions. But if you don't have someone like that to be able to fill that gap, then you're going to make mistakes. Similarly, if you buy a property and something happens, like a tenant doesn't pay rent or something like that, if you've never dealt with that before, you're going to be dealing with it for the first time with somebody else's money. And Gabby and I know, because we have that experience, that can go really fucking sideways. Really sideways. If you haven't set up your systems properly, if you don't have the right documentation and everything else. So I don't agree with using other people's money unless you have experience, or you've got a phenomenal coach that can basically answer all those questions to provide you, basically fill in all those gaps that you don't have in the experience. Plain and simple. Again, this isn't a pitch or anything else. It's just being real. I would give this answer in any circumstance, right?
Yeah.
So I think you guys are right on the right track. I'm glad you asked this question. You're on the right track because you're asking the right questions.
Yeah.
Just keep on learning. Like Gabby said, at the time, we went through the Residential Tenancies Act and we memorized it, and we quizzed each other on questions to the point where we knew everything about it. That's why we know so much about landlording. That's why Gabby's a fucking landlord and tenant expert.
I needed to know it. I needed to understand it because my anxiety was through the roof. Like it was so bad. So I had to understand that thing inside and out, or else I would have just been like in a ball in the corner, just like.
But look at it. She went from knowing absolutely nothing to being one of the top experts in the country. At the very least in Alberta.
Province, yeah.
Because she understands this province. Ontario's...
I don't want to understand
It's a completely different Residential Tenancies Act. But I mean, she's hands down the most knowledgeable landlord investor in Alberta. So if she can start here and come to here, then you can too, right? If you just apply yourself and you put in the work, right? Now, do you need to go like that? Do you need to go? No, but this is what you need to do in order to get to that level of confidence. To have, Gabby has more things on her plate than any of you guys combined. Like the amount of stuff that Gabby does on a daily basis. She is a fucking machine. And she sleeps like a kitten. She's able to turn it off because she knows, even though everything is like going nutso and she's got a huge list tomorrow to get back to, she knows exactly how to do it. And that allows her just to be able to switch it off and go to bed, right? And so how do you get to that stage? Keep learning, keep applying yourself, keep showing up, keep listening, keep asking questions, okay? And we will help you fill whatever gaps need to be filled. And your husband as well, he can send in as many emails as he wants. We will answer every question that he has. And I have every answer to every question. I promise. Okay? I hope that's helpful. I hope everyone else enjoyed this as well. Sending your questions to info@reimorningshow.com. You send them, we'll answer them, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Want to be coached personally by Wayne and Gabby? Then you should join the Real Estate Investing Masters Mentorship Program. Details are in the show notes to get started.